Okay, this is a lesson on assembling the Do Nothing machine, otherwise known as the BS grinder. So you will open up all of these parts or save all the parts. I think there's 5 parts. Some of them we will use more than once. And start with the base. There's a couple ways to go about this, but I like to have the base open and then say File, Make Assembly from part. And it opens up another file called Assembly 2. You see the base here. We're going to have to browse for the other parts, but we can put the base out here right now by simply clicking. Now I need to insert some components. If that isn't highlighted, make sure you're on Assembly. If you're on Layout or Sketch, you won't see those. Insert components, and I'm going to browse, and I downloaded them. I may not have extracted them. Let's see. Extract these real quick. Extract all. Okay. I'm going to have a slide. Insert component. Browse. Arm. Insert component. Browse. Long pin. Insert component. Browse. Short pin. And I could have inserted 2 of these slide and 2 of these short pin, but a nice little trick is when I'm in an assembly and I want to duplicate a part, I can hold the control key, and it seems kind of not intuitive. I hold the control key first, then I click and I drag. I don't know why that seems a little awkward to me, but you hold the control key first. And now I'm going to start by adding some mates to this slide here. The first thing I need to do is put this surface and this surface to be on the same plane. So here are my mates. I'm going to mate this surface. Be careful where you select. Really, it would be different if I selected here. Make sure you're getting the plane that you want. And you'll see this happen also. We'll make sure that we have nothing already selected. And now I have to rotate around and choose this surface. And you'll see that they joined. Those planes are now touching. This little box pops up, and you can continue adding mates if you just hit this check mark. So now I can choose, I have a couple of options here. I can choose this and this line, or this surface and this surface. You'll see here that they are on the same plane, but we have to add another mate to constrain them. I could even add that line, that edge, and that edge right there. I tend to go for planes. I don't know if there's an advantage. Nothing got selected. You see that. There we go. We got that face. And then that face. Check mark. Okay, so now I'm simply clicking and dragging. I'm not selecting here. But I can't go left, right. It is confined to that slot. I'm going to add the second slide. I'm going to just finalize those mates with that. I could have kept going, but I want to rotate this a little bit. It'll just make it a little, seem to have better success. So here's the move command. I click on something that can move it. I can move this, that's confined. But underneath the move command is rotate. And it just helps a little. I kind of wiggle it around until it's kind of close to the direction I want. Otherwise, it can kind of flip upside down, or you get one made like differently than you think. It's going to happen. And we can always just cancel that mating and fix it. Anyway, I've rotated this close. I'm going to add another mate. I'm going to make this surface with this surface. And check mark. And now this plane, we'll do the edge this time just to show that it works. And that edge. Check mark. Again, I don't really know if there's an advantage to one or the other. They both would look fine in this case. Okay. Now, to point something out here, I put the base in first. I'm going to right-click on the base. And you see we have the option to make it float. And if I right-click on the arm here, we have the option to make it fix. So what those mean is that the arm is floating and the base is fixed. It will not move. So you do want to make sure if you inserted, say, the arm first, you could switch them. You could make the arm fixed and the base floating. Or vice versa, I'm sorry. You could make the arm, if you inserted the arm first, it would be fixed. So you could click on that and make it float. And click on the base and make it fixed. Okay, so now I need to add some mates to the holes. I'm going to do a mate. I like to choose the cylinder. Make sure not the edge. And not exactly sure too much of a difference. Check mark. And since I'm right here, I'm going to add that mate and that mate also. Check mark. Now you see that it's kind of interfering, or it's not on the right plane, so I'm going to add a mate on this plane and this plane. Check mark. Now really the Do Nothing machine will work and is, at this point it's functional. The pins are more cosmetic. It is not required to have the pins to work because this is a digital simulation, not a mechanical. So, we don't have to put the pins in there, and you can see here the Do Nothing machine works when I move the arm. But to finish up the cosmetics and a little more practice in mating, I'm going to mate. Let me just have a surface selected here just to show you. It's quite frequent that something gets selected without their intent. And in this case, I don't want that surface selected, so I'm going to just right-click and delete that selection or clear with just one in the blue box. Either will work. Okay, so I'm going to mate. So I'm still in the mating command, but I just cleared this box, so I know exactly what I'm selecting. And if you get to, if you accidentally select something, you can select an edge and you want the surface, you can delete those. So that surface and that surface, check mark. And let's see, this pin floats up and down, so I really want that surface and that surface to be mated. Check mark. and the outer surface here, and there, check mark, and that, check mark, and this on that surface, check mark. And really, this is the handle. Something kind of interesting about the handle I'll show you in a moment. So I want the top surface. I want to meet this and this. Check mark. Okay. So for whatever reason, when you grab the handle, it doesn't work quite as well as if you grab the arm and it jumps like that. So when you do demonstrate, if we just grab the arm, and that is some basic mates. We can always go in and look at our mates and delete them. Oops, the box popped up. Yes, I want to delete that mate. So you see, if I didn't like something, I could go find the mate that I had and delete it or modify it. So in this case, I add that mate back in there. Mate. Sometimes it takes moving. It's a little finicky sometimes, so I just learned to kind of wiggle until I get it to pick the proper plane or line or edge or cylinder that I'm looking for. And there we go. That is the tuning mapping machine.